Like I'm pretty sure I am the youngest person on here, right? Or it's either me or Ty or Ann. And I don't mean to bring in age to try and like, ruffle any feathers. But the truth of the matter is that's not how it works. That might work for those people that are 40 and up. But the 20
Yeah,
year olds, they're not, them girls not going for it.
it
And
don't
just
even work for
because
40
I'm
and up.
telling you, I don't get how like we're having this conversation like we're talking about the people who aren't on the real dating pool anymore. The real dating pool of people is full of 20-year-olds, right? And those 20-year-old girls are going to look at you and going to be like, what you mean? I see you in the club. I'm not sitting at home being no wifely woman. I don't care if you give me no ring. Run me some money.
That is not the real dating pool.
So here's
What
the
dating pool are you
conundrum.
in, Darwin?
Hold on,
No,
wait.
there's a name for
I
that.
would.
Hold
The
on. Here's
dating
the
pool.
None.
conundrum.
If I
I'm
was,
not in it either.
let me ask you a question.
Exactly.
Let me
So
ask
where are
you a
these
question.
good people that you know?
If I
Probably
was
people in
still, if I was
relationships and
still,
married.
if I was still in the market, I wouldn't be in the same dating pool as most of these guys. I would be on a corporate level dating pool.
You
Here,
think
here,
corporate women don't feel that way? You think the
No,
nurses, the lawyers, the doctors, the engineer women don't feel like I already make my own money. You're a liar, you're a cheater, you're a narcissist, you're manipulative. All you really got is some A plus or B plus dick.
no. It's
Other than
actually
that,
no. They
what
don't.
else are you
Listen,
giving me?
I've
I
already
already
went.
bought a house, I already bought a
Listen,
car.
ladies.
That's how they
I speak to
feel.
CEOs and directors and all kind of shit on a basis. I've been in these spaces. These women on a corporate level, they're lonely. They don't have any leverage. 35, 40-year-old
You ever
career
heard of
women
the words
are being,
post nut
this is what I'm saying.
clarity?
They
You're
being,
lonely until you get post nut clarity.
these women are being passed around and most of them are work wives.
but
They're
You're,
but
not
here,
getting
but
marriage.
I don't
but
get
here's
it.
the thing though. Here's the thing though. So to Bruiser's point, right? He said that if the women decide not to do it, then they just because men control access to marriage, that the women uh that's the reason why the women have to follow the man. Here's the thing though. Women in mass are starting to opt out of it. They're literally
That's just some.
no, but the thing is, so y'all have to, so the problem is that y'all not understanding the human quality in all of this. Y'all are saying we're going to deviate from God, but we still expect you to listen. And if you don't listen, then we'll marry somebody else. And the women are basically saying, if you're going to deviate from God, I'm not going to follow you. I'm going to
That's
do what
not
I
true.
want to.
That's
That's
not what
what
they
they're.
saying.
If
No,
we
that's
were,
literally
if
what they're
we,
saying.
that is not literally what they're saying because if we
Y'all
conceded
got
that,
6 women up here all telling y'all the same
that's
thing
that's
except for
they
one.
don't
But I'm
represent
the
the mass.
crazy one.
They don't represent the majority. Women are not opting out because men are deciding
There are
to
more men. There are
deviate.
more men that desire marriage
Most
than
women
women
are
at this
opting
point.
out. Most women are opting out of marriage and delaying motherhood and being a wife because of their prioritizing financial stability and independence. They ain't got nothing to do with a man
More
being
women are
rich.
opting out
Yes,
of
so we
marriage.
can
In
so
the
we
And
can
Charles,
not
spiritual
have to
sense,
need
I
yes.
don't think
y'all.
that that's
They're
true.
prioritizing financial stability so they cannot need a what? A man. The
Because
only reason marriage was so important to women was because they needed protection, they needed finances, they needed a place to stay. What are you talking about? Now
You
she,
just
she
made
got her
my
own
point.
protection in her
You
pocket.
just
Dar, you
made
And
my
want to know what's
point.
funny? Dar, you want to know what's funny?
okay then. So if those are the only three things that
I
you're
just
good
told
for,
you
and
financial
she
stability,
can give them to
independence.
herself.
That's why they're opting out of marriage as
No, no,
and
no, no,
young.
no.
In the dating pool you talking about is young. We already did this. Had
This
this
is not the
conversation.
you're
no.
missing
This
the
is not
point.
young.
What
This
she's
is
Sweeney,
across
saying
the board.
is
most
the
Hold
women,
on.
most women
This
think
is
expectations.
more
not
men are
young.
following God.
More women, more
It's
men
the
desire
30s
marriage
too.
than women across
Sweeney,
the board at this point. They're
Sweeney,
literally opting out.
Sweeney. Do women go to the church looking for men? Is that the number one spot they go looking for men?
I don't know
Especially in their
about the
early
church.
20s?
I don't know about the
Hell
church. I can
no.
only go off
So
of the
The
I
early
data.
barely see
20s, they're
women
not
in their
going to
early
Hold
church at
on,
20s
wait.
doing
all.
that.
All y'all, I can't respond to all y'all at once.
For your
I
argument
don't
to
know.
say that
I
they're
don't
not
know about the
following men,
church.
they're not following
I'm just
God, would
going
mean
off
that
of the
they're
data,
going to church looking for men, not finding them, then deciding to just get out in these streets. When there
bro.
are men perfectly fine inside the church, and those church women tend to date niggas that's not in the church. Like
What
we
does that
like
have to do with? What does
that's
it have to do with women desiring marriage and children?
It's not
you
no
said
heathens in the
that
church,
women are
Emily.
following men
Women.
because they're not in the church following God. And if they're not choosing the men in the church
Jesus.
primarily to say, all right, I want
What
to
does that
follow
have
you
to do
because
with
you're in the church,
discrimination?
that's completely negating the whole argument.
Well,
That's
I
not
think
the game.
that
The whole argument. I just asked a simple, logical question. Y'all said that men should be following God, and y'all said let God handle the men. And the women are saying, if you're not gonna follow
So
God,
no,
I'm not gonna follow you. I don't understand how the women are literally not following the men. I don't care why they're going to church. They're not following the men. It doesn't matter.
Well, what's the
They're
point?
literally not following the men.
So look, so Sweeney's correct on that. Statistically, more men desire marriage than women. But so then that breaks it down like, okay, why is that, right? And this is something that I've spoken about a lot. Men have lost their perceived value. Women don't have the desire to tether themselves to a particular man for life, right? So they have access to plenty of different types of men, particularly with modern dating apps and all. They have access to every type of man, including the top 10%, even top 5%, right? The average woman can have access to the top 10% of men. If this is what they're dealing with, and they can continue to just cycle through these men, they're not going to, and they don't really see the end in sight. So the problem is that I feel like women are negating is that it's finite. This run that you're having in your 20s and 30s, it's a burnout after that. Eventually there's a dramatic fall off where the attention that you used to be able to garner is no longer available to you. So if you feel like you never will need a man, okay, great. And it's cool. And I don't see any, listen, if that's how you want to live your life, as long as you know what the big picture is, if you understand that it is finite and that it becomes more and more difficult to obtain a man as you grow long in the tooth, then fine. As long as you know what's up. Your 20s and 30s, if you burn them out and then you try to hit a buzzer beater when you're like 39 and say, yo, all right, man time, my eggs are ready. They're not. So that's the reality we have to understand. But it is a fact. Women don't want men. And there's plenty of reasons for that, is because right now, protection is not really a thing, particularly in the West. Women don't really have to worry about being in harm's way, right? You have 911 on your cell phone, in your pocketbook immediately, or in your hand, really, for modern women. And secondly, they can provide for themselves. So the two of our major, and if you talk about the third, problem solving, you got Google Chat GPT for that now, for the most part. So, or YouTube University. Women don't find a value in a man. They can get all the things that they desire from a man by just dating, right? You can get somebody to take you out. You can get attention. You could just have a social media profile, garner all the attention that you like.
Yep.
And it's not a reality to women, particularly in their 20s and 30s, when their market value is a little bit higher. So I understand that sentiment. I don't agree with it because I do believe it's finite, but these, in my opinion, are the reasons why women have opted out.
Well, Trev, you know the difference between lionesses and hyenas?
Hey, hold on, wait. Let's get
Lord Jesus.
Yes, and I realize what we have an abundance of as well.
Let's get Shannon there.
Man, y'all done jumped this subject so many times. I don't even know what we're talking
Don't
about.
even force her to come in here.
But I will piggyback off what Trev is saying. I think that women do value men. I just don't think that men are willing to listen to what women want in men, like what they value, what it is that you can bring that will make her say, "Oh, you." Because there are men who get women, right? It's only a small few, but nobody wants to be that guy who women want to. You know what I'm saying? Like, I think that women do want a mate. Let me clarify. Women want a mate. They just don't want any mate. Women don't want to just settle down with any man, because I think they've all done that and they've gotten nowhere. Like, it's either brought them so far from where they need to be, they've been hurt, so they're just not willing to do that anymore. But I do believe that women do want somebody. It's just that what they want is just really hard to find.
Is it hard to find, or is it hard to qualify for?
It's hard to qualify.
It's hard to so both. I would say both, right? It's hard to qualify for.
Which one supersedes the other?
Family. So because there's such a small group of them, everybody wants them. So
exactly, you're making our point.
I agree with you. And I said
high top tier man.
Let me finish or what?
Go ahead.
So I am agreeing with you somewhat, and I'm giving you an explanation to why you're absolutely correct. So it's both. because that side, the group that they're wanting is so low, those guys have the options of many. All these women want them, so maybe they don't qualify for this guy because he has so many options. So I think that it's both.
It's not that he has so many options so much. He does have the option, but the standards are so high that most women tap out. They lose energy trying to optimize themselves for them.
All right, so Trev, the reason I asked you about do you know the difference between lionesses and hyenas, I found this very interesting, right? So lionesses, they go out and hunt and they protect the pride. They're usually in polygynous relationships with a large male lion that protects them and their children. When they run into trouble, he come with the backup and he holding it down. And they keep other males out of the territory. Now hyenas, they operate in the exact opposite way. The women are at the top of the food chain in the hyenas hierarchy, and they dictate and order lower level males around. So much so that in order for a male hyena to rise, he has to leave his tribe and go find a whole new tribe of hyenas. They also have faux penises. Those penises look like men's penises as well, and they have sharp things in them, so they cannot be raped because they are in charge of the sex fully, and they operate like men, and they're typically larger than them. I'm not calling nobody no names. I'm just saying in general, you're either in one camp or the other, it seems to appear.
You do know that lionesses kill lions when they don't act right, right?
Correct.
Like they will all literally kill that male
They will
lion.
all jump on him and kill him. Very true.
How often does that happen in a tribe?
Wait.
Hold on, wait. I got y'all. Hold on, wait. I got y'all.
You want to know what's funny?
No. I got Alicia. The problem is, you notice what I said. I said they kill him when he don't act right.
Define don't act right.
He doesn't do his responsibility. He doesn't protect the pride. He doesn't act in accordance with. He doesn't provide the food. When he does not act right, they will kill him. So juxtapose that for humans.
Because you know what's funny? Wait, I just want to say this one thing. What I find so funny?
Let's do
everybody says.
Hang on. Sweeney made a good case. M. White, use what he just said. And just oppose it to what happens to a man when he don't do a right woman. He don't do a woman right in the United States. When he don't do divorce, what happens to that man?
Alimony, divorce, child support, alimony. Or
Thank you.
A fake abuse case.
You can look at it subliminal, and you can
family to come hurt him.
You can parallel. You can juxtapose the lions, a group of lions, to government, the government, and a law enforcement
alimony
that helps out a woman. You can
get alimony.
What do they do? You can literally destroy a man's life if he don't do it.
You used the small example of an obscure example of what happens when a man when a male lion doesn't do what he's supposed to do. Even after I gave criteria for what the male lion was.
So what I'm trying to get
and
you
then
to
you gonna say we're using the small example when he just used the small.
No. I'm not using the small example because I'm not saying that most lions don't act right. What I'm saying is that in the event that they do not do their job, or they're too weak to do their job, because the chat want to say weak. It doesn't matter. He can't do his job. The lionesses will kill that male lion. So with that being said, it goes back to my question.